Vice President, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Good morning, Chris.
I want to start with those growing protests across the country against the stay-at-home order. As some of the protesters ignoring social distancing, what do you think specifically of their protests and how they're carrying them out?
Well, first, let me say from the moment President Trump asked me to lead the White House Coronavirus Task Force 2 months ago, he made it clear that we had one objective, and that was to save lives. And in the intervening 2 months, the American people have stepped forward, have embraced the social distancing, have done the mitigation efforts. And as we sit here this morning, we continue to see encouraging results, declining cases, declining hospitalizations. Because of what the American people have done, because of the president's leadership and what governors have done around the country, we are slowing the spread. We're hastening the day when we can put the coronavirus in the past and reopen the American economy. Beyond the focus on lives, the president also made it clear that we wanted to ensure that our hospital workers, incredible men and women, had the resources and equipment that they needed. We've spent hundreds of millions of medical supplies to the critical areas around the country. And I must tell you, the fact that no American who has needed a ventilator has been denied a ventilator is a great testament to our national response at every level. And on the subject of testing, we're continuing to scale and expand testing, and we'll do that because as the president laid out those guidelines this week, no one wants to reopen America more than President Donald Trump. And what you see, I think, among millions of Americans who've been embracing those social distancing measures and making the sacrifices is they want their governors to find a way to responsibly and safely reopen their state economies. And what the president laid out last week is a framework, a phased framework to reopen America, to do that. And we're going to work very closely with governors to implement that as soon as we can responsibly do it around the country.
But, Mr. Vice President, in a number of these cases, these protesters who are not social distancing are saying they don't want to wait. In many cases, they're protesting your own guidelines to stop the spread. On Friday, the president tweeted this, and I want to put it up: liberate Minnesota, liberate Michigan, and liberate Virginia, and save your great Second Amendment. It is under siege. Washington Governor Inslee responded, the president is fomenting domestic rebellion and spreading lies, even while his own administration says the virus is real and deadly. So what does the president mean? Because you've got guidelines that are calling for social distancing and staying at home. Even your new guidelines to reopen the country are very phased and gradual. What does the president mean when he says liberate these states?
The American people know that no one in America wants to reopen this country more than President Donald Trump. And on Thursday, the president directed us to lay out guidelines for when and how states could responsibly do that. And in the president's tweets and public statements, I can assure you he's going to continue to encourage governors to find ways to safely and responsibly let America go back to work. And the guidelines for opening up America again give a roadmap for doing just that, Chris. For states that have 14 days of consecutive declining cases, that have proper hospitalization capacity, we recommend that they can begin under phase 1 to ease the social distancing measures that have been put into effect, allow some people to begin to come back to work, allow some activities in the community to begin to happen. And when the president speaks about reopening America, it's all about encouraging governors, as soon as they determine is most proper and most appropriate, to be able to do that and do that quickly. America works when America is working, and the president wants to see us put the coronavirus in the past by these strong measures the American people have embraced, but we want to get America working again just as soon as we can.
Understood, Mr. Vice President. I want to